It's Mike from Gear Diary, taking a final look at the Merrell Vapor Gloves. Okay, so before I've given my first after run and my overall first impressions after a little bit of the Merrell Vapor Gloves. And as I noted, these things are incredibly comfortable. They're really well built, super thin. So they're a zero drop shoe with a 2mm cushion, 5mm total stack. And I really don't know how well you might be able to see that from the side, but there's just not a whole heck of a lot of there. The bottom has got these micro grooves. They do pick up pebbles. I've actually got more twigs in there than pebbles at this point. No pebbles on either side. It's a Vibram. The laces hold very well. I had to double knot, I think, once on one side, but not the other. I haven't had any problems with any sort of separation or any sorts of other issues in terms of the build quality. Like I say, these are really well put together shoes, and they wear very nicely. So you can see that the wear is starting. Well, you may not be able to see it because it's very faint. Wear is starting kind of. Fortunately, I do have a decent stride, so it's starting where I hope it would be, in towards the mid-upper foot. The problem for me personally has nothing to do with the build quality or even the comfort. As I said, the comfort is incredible, and where this thing hits the back of my heel, not a problem. The problem gets down to the stack. What I found was after running, I ran about 50 miles on these things over the course of a few days, and I found it starting to bother my feet. Not in the Achilles area, which is what you'd expect, like your calves and all that, based on the zero drop. But I'm good with the zero drop. Like I said, I've got switched between the Nike Free 3s and the New Balance Minimus. I have no problem with that. What I found was that going even from the 17mm on the Nikes down to the 11mm on the New Balance down to 5mm here, I could really feel the difference. 11mm, New Balance, not a problem. These were just a little too thin. And I really felt like had I just kept pushing, I was on my way to possibly an injury. And so that's when I stopped doing it. So I put about 50 miles running. But the other thing is, I continue to wear them because they're so comfortable. So these have become my go-to walking shoes. I wear them out and about at the hotel where I'm at now. I'll wear them on exercise equipment, but just not pounding the pavement. And especially where I'm traveling to now, I run a lot on concrete as well. There's a lot of the sidewalks, so that's even more of a punishing thing. So that's really something, and Carly and I talked about that this weekend, which is that for something this thin, you really need to build up to it, or in this case, build down to it. So the zero drop you need to work on because it really can change the way that you hit. But just the overall stack height, you have to really be comfortable with it, especially if you're used to something thicker. So there are two dimensions you have to deal with. There's the one that's the tilt of your foot, excuse me, and then there's the other one that is just the overall height. So excellent shoes, very, very minimal. Like I say, these things are, they're just, they are just nothing there. Excellent build, really comfortable, super comfortable. These are the Merrell Vapor Gloves, and I recommend checking them out just to see how they feel on your feet. But again, note where you're at for your stack height as well as the drop across your foot. If you already in a zero drop and you're working your way down towards barefoot, it's a really good shoe. It's a good place to land. If you're up in the stratosphere, if you're running with something like the Nike Frees or the Saucony Kinvaras, something with a good solid stack, it's not going to be that easy of a transition. So, Mike from Gear Diary, these are the Merrell Vapor Gloves. Links and prices in the review and as well in the links below. Thanks for watching.